Hello, welcome to Life on the Other Side. My name is Ruthie Remigio, and today we'll be discussing addiction. Did you know that addiction is classified in the DSM 5? It's a mental illness that lives in the brainstem, the same brainstem that serves a critical role in regulating certain involuntary actions of the body, including heartbeat and breathing. Addicts feel that they need their drug of choice the same way they feel that they need to breathe. Did you know that our society treats addiction as a moral issue and pawns it off on law enforcement to control? The average stay in jail is 14 days or less, where addicts are left to detox alone outside of medical supervision. Are you aware that the detox process can be violent and result in death if not monitored by medical professionals? The addict is then released at the time their serotonin levels are at their lowest, leading to a high rate of relapse. It's a pun to say this is criminal. It takes an average of 14 to 16 months of sobriety for an addict's brain to balance serotonin levels to that of a neurotypical brain. Did you know that most insurances will only pay for 30 days of treatment for an addict? Private insurance treatment is tens of thousands of dollars. Did you know that 136 people die every day from opioid overdose? That's one person every 10.58 minutes. By the time you're done reading and processing this video, someone will have already died from an opioid overdose. Someone's child, someone's spouse, someone's parent, someone's friend, someone's aunt or uncle. Let that sink in. Did you know that the two biggest factors that make an addict are genetic predisposition and childhood trauma? There's not that one hit or that one decision that will make an addict an addict. Addiction is not a moral problem. Did you know that the BRCA gene for breast cancer has a 5 to 10% genetic predisposition rate? People undergo testing and life changing surgeries to avoid it. Addiction's genetic predisposition is over 50%. If there's one thing an addict would say, it's that they still are in there. I know because I've asked. The person that you knew and loved is still in there. They are not their disease. Addiction is a disease, a dis-ease of the body and mind. And it's hard. It takes the proper knowledge, support, and unrelenting diligence. It means retraining our healthcare workers with the proper knowledge and training on how we approach addiction, guiding addiction in a holistic, positive way, giving the understanding and tools to our children about trauma, what it is, how we release it, and the confidence of knowing that everything that we need is already within us. We just have to pull it out. We must do better by addicts. The paradigm needs to change. Insurance benefits need to change. Public awareness needs to change. Too much of anything makes you an addict. Understand that addiction is not just with drugs. Addiction includes sex, porn, video games, shopping, plastic surgery, eating, working out, and the list continues. We need to change the way we guide our children, teach our professionals, and heal those suffering. We must understand trauma, how it affects us, and the consequences it has when not dealing with life. We need to take our power back and remember that change will only happen if we make it happen. We need to teach our children better. We need to change the school's curriculums to reflect real life studies that are valuable for generations to come. We must be rawfully honest with ourselves in admitting that our system is rigged for failure and it will only change when we change it. When we do things from our hearts, in a community mind frame with healthy, loving intentions for everyone the same, people will heal. We must change ourselves so we can change the reality we live in. We must not look to others with disgust or judgment, but instead with love and compassion, truly understanding that they are suffering, and it could be anyone. We all know at least one person who suffers from trauma, including ourselves. When I think about my life and the things that I've been through today, I say to myself, had I known more about trauma, maybe I would have felt differently about myself. I've always known that I was a good person, but why do I make the choices I make? Why do I repeat them? Why do I water myself down to fit in other people's worlds instead of raising my standards? Why does my heart always feel so heavy? When I think about the betrayal that I've endured and the things that I've accepted in my life, it's clear that I didn't think much of myself. Although at the time I would have begged to differ. As a very young mother, I didn't realize that my actions and my traumas and my belief systems would impact my child as they have. We tend to push our beliefs and our traditions and our traumas onto our children. This has been happening for thousands and thousands of years. As parents, we don't intentionally try to damage our children. But at what point do we stop and admit that the system is broken? The way that things have been being done for a very, very long time is clearly not working. Life today is not the same as life 30 years ago, 40 years ago. And that's not too long ago. Even from when I was a child, things are drastically different. But I think that we need to take it back even further. And I think that the first step is admitting that there are issues. When you heal yourself, you raise strong, good, genuine little people. When you are wounded, whether you want to admit that you're wounded or not, and the levels of trauma that each person carries are absolutely different. So you got to think the more damaged a person, the more damaged their child. One shape or form, they are causing some type of trauma on their child. Everything that we do in life is soaked up by our children, and they take that with them into their future. The first 7 years of life are the most crucial. That is the time in your life when you are learning and really, really taking everything. And it's been scientifically proven that everything that you acquire in the first 7 years of your life will dictate the rest of your life. Dr. Gabor Mate is a medical profession who has been in the business over 50 years and specializes in trauma. His approach to trauma is absolutely life changing. He has come out with a documentary called The Wisdom of Trauma. I highly recommend it. You can also find his videos on YouTube. After multiple workshops, live events, many retreats, and thousands of dollars spent on all the work that I've invested in myself, in my healing journey, my vision has become so clear. I was fortunate a few years back to win a scholarship for a workshop that Dr. Gabor Mate was offering. The information in the workshop was so life changing that I can't keep it to myself. I did go ahead and make a little mini video. It's called Understanding Trauma. Please check it out on my YouTube channel. If any of this is resonating with you and you want more information on trauma, if you want to dive deeper, if you want to take your power back and release what no longer serves you so that you can create the life that you desire, please leave me a comment below. You can find me on Facebook at Life on the Other Side. You can check out my website at lifeontheotherside.com.